Where did they go?
Okay, imagine you walking up and finding this. Okay, free, must take all. Oh my goodness. There are pallets full of stuff right here. Okay, and I mean, Mr. Volt is gonna kind of back up a little just so you can kind of get a little glimpse idea of how much stuff is here. There you go. Boxes and boxes and boxes of something. Let's see what's inside. Okay, these are really cute. So, they are log holders, obviously, from Target. And it is a waxed canvas log holder, which I guess you can probably use like for magazines too. You know, if you don't have a chimney or, fireplace with logs and stuff like that. Um, but yeah, so Mr. Volt found a new place to dumpster dive and it did not disappoint because obviously a massive amount of stuff that he took. And yeah, sometimes, these businesses, they just can't handle this amount of stuff, so they get rid of it. And yeah, sometimes, I guess if you're lucky to find all of this stuff, but I'm telling you, this was not easy to process and load up, and yeah, it was a lot. But I guess, they don't want people just opening up pallets and picking out, a few. So that's my guess, why they want people to just take the whole thing. But hey, free, we'll take it. But yeah, it's nice when they have it marked and, kind of like ready to go for you. And as you can see, like how Mr. Volt took it out, I mean, they're pretty compact. They're not big, bulky, holders. So it's pretty much just like the packaging. I mean, that's why it's so huge. Palette 16 out of 24. Oh my goodness. I can't imagine if there's like more pallets of these, but yeah, they're, like I said, they're really nice and all brand new. And for these boxes that Mr. Volt is taking out right now, those are individual ones. So they just have one in each box. There's some bigger boxes too, and they have like maybe 2 or 3, the most that I've seen. But yeah, so as far as the rest, they're all individually boxed. And if you guys want to leave your guess as to how many, or at least, how many boxes, feel free to do that. Sometimes when we find like massive amounts of stuff, like we'll just play a little guessing game. And we actually did one from last video, so if you guys are regular viewers and you saw our last video with this huge Rockstar score, yeah, so we counted them and checked, and in total there were 200. But I believe there was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 cans that were left behind. So they were like open, empty, whatever. And those ones, yeah, we did not. Well, we took them to recycle. But yeah, the person that came closest would be Nora. So I will put up a little banner up on the screen with the magic of editing. So congratulations. She was the closest that came to the amount of either total or just, unopened cans. So there were 192 that were still good. And anybody have a Xbox? Because I guess they have codes on these cans and stuff, so you know, you want to check out that video. But they were closed, but the little pull tab was like lifted up just to see the codes. So they got their codes and then just threw out the rest. Mr. Volt was over there losing his knife, flying all around. And of course, you know, if you guys are opening up packages, careful with your knife, because we have seen so many boxes that people just try to cut open and they end up like cutting their item. So yeah, there you go. There's still more. They are covered in these clear bags and they're really nice brown. Have like, you know, they have like a little white stitching on the top. They are from Target, as you can see, like I mentioned. And yeah, they all have their tags still. You know, retail packaging, so I guess they just, you know, maybe overstocked. So as you can see right there, so these are about $35. I think the screen showed like a different price, but that was like on a different website. I believe it was like Walmart or something. There's other people that sell it. But still, it's really nice. Good quality. The only thing is that, like, I mean, to ship these, you know, it does cost a bit, you know, especially in these boxes. I don't know, maybe we can get them cheaper with some other kind of packaging. So if anybody wants some, let us know. Like I said, we'll try to get the shipping as cheap as possible, you know, just to be able to send these out. And we are just about finished with the curtain rods too. I know you guys, yeah, if you remember that one, there was so many curtain rods, so finally we are finishing up with that. Sometimes, you know, the stuff that we find, it's crazy how much is out there. You know, and we can tell that, you know, the people who think that this is fake are the ones more likely that don't dumpster dive, because it's hard to imagine like all of this stuff is being thrown out. Like, we would never believe that, you know, until we start dumpster diving and really seeing what's out there, what's thrown away. Now it's like, okay, it's crazy and it's shocking, but it's, you know, believable because we see it all the time. Like, perfectly good stuff thrown away. And a lot of times like this, it's just overstock. You know, somebody gets pallets of overstock and it is just complete overstock. Stuff that they might not be able to sell. So yeah, let us know in the comments if you guys dumpster dive. If you guys ever find like huge amounts of stuff. And Mr. Volt is trying to figure out how the heck is he gonna stack all this up. Like, it was a good thing he had his trailer, so he was going scrapping, and usually that's when he has his trailer. And once he unloads at the scrapyard and he has an empty trailer, he likes to just go out and scrap and see how much he can get. so that way he can fill it up and have it ready to, you know, take into the scrapyard the next day. So it's just like a process for him, like how he does it. But let me tell you, like I said, these things are very compact and the boxes take up a lot of the space. So with that being said, driving with these was not easy. Mr. Volt usually, you know, he has scrapped, you know, thousands of pounds of metal, all kinds of stuff. And he uses those, you know, heavy duty straps, you know, that buckle and you can like tighten it and all that stuff. And those work really well. Like, we hardly ever use the bungees for, you know, a lot of stuff because bungees can break, especially if they're exposed to the elements. They get weaker. So we like those, the straps that you see on the floor by the wall over there. But you need to be careful, and I'm just like putting this out there. If you guys are strapping stuff in that's something like this where there's a lot of empty space in the packaging, once you're driving and the weight just kind of like collapses a little bit, those straps can be loose. So be very careful. Like, keep an eye on your cargo, your stuff, because Mr. Volt noticed that later, like the packaging kind of like squished a little bit. So on the next load he does it a little bit better and, you know, reinforcing it more. But right here, this is the first load, and I guess it's a trial and error kind of thing. Like this part right here, Mr. Volt was, you know, trying to stack up a little bit of, well, some boxes right there. But yeah, that didn't work out either, the way that it was designed on the, you know, the shape of the trailer right there. So he's gonna fix that. But everything made it. Just to let you guys know, everything got home safe. And of course, let us know in the comments your best finds, weirdest finds, even your worst finds. So I've mentioned this before on the channel, but just in case if anybody's new, which I'm sure there's going to be some new people here. So we've had a lot of good finds. I mean, we've had a lot of really good hauls. Of course, you know, there's the massive Amazon Fresh. You know, that one was crazy. That was like 2 carloads, and yeah, that was a lot of stuff that they threw out. Brand new. So that one, of course, is really good. But in case you guys haven't heard this one, there was one day when Mr. Volt was out scrapping, dumpster diving, and he came across a dumpster full of adult toys. Like, seriously, it was like about 3/4 full dumpster, like packed, oh, but 3/4 full. Okay, so this dumpster was like super full of adult toys, and yeah, Mr. Volt saw that and was like, I'm not getting those. I don't even know if they're used or new or what, but so he just like took off, and there was another scrapper out there was asking like what it was, right? And then Mr. Volt was like, yeah, he told him, and then the other man, he just like went for it, like, I don't know if he got stuff out of there or not. But yeah, he looked like he was excited to see, you know, what was in that dumpster. Yeah, I think that's probably our weirdest. And that was not the only time either, so that has happened, I believe, twice, but just with different items. We'll leave it at that. So Mr. Volt is starting to make a dent over here. Yeah, I think there was, what, 4 pallets full? That's crazy. So he was able to get, I'd say, about a pallet and a half, maybe? Or I don't think he was able to get 2 full pallets in this load. But still a good amount. I mean, he loaded it up and then he called me and let me know, like, what was going on. Like, I was just surprised with that. But yeah, so I got ready and he came back home, unloaded all of these boxes. We just lined them up next to the wall and I just started breaking them down, taking them out from the boxes, you know, putting them aside and just being able to process this amount. I mean, that's a lot. And then he went back for more, came back again. They're like barely fitting. So Mr. Volt is a Tetris master over here, like I've said before. Although I think Kathy, just me Kathy, I think she actually beat Mr. Volt when she would load up the blessing boxes. So hopefully she's doing well. We do miss her in her videos, but we do hope that she's doing well. But it's just funny, like, when, yeah, see, there's a little viewer right there, and he's strapped in. So, not bad, a good amount, and, now Mr. Volt is back for more. And of course, you know, he's gonna make it fit somehow, so that's why, like, I would, you know, tease him about that. You know, he's like a Tetris master, and yeah, I just got to give Kathy her props because, yeah, she's super good at making that stuff fit. We have been checking the blessing boxes. Like, we usually do that before we go out dumpster diving, you know, just to kind of get an idea of what spot is running low, you know, where it needs donations. And I mean, lately it's just been all over. So yeah, blessing boxes have been getting empty more and more. But there was one day recently that I had stopped by on the way home and someone had made some blackberry jelly and it was so nice. Like, they had the jars, you know, sealed, those little like mason jar kind of things, you know. They had labels on them that they hand wrote, you know, their blackberry jam. And of course, like, someone just went and threw a bunch of these glass jars all over the place, you know, glass all over, jelly all over. So it's just, it's sad that people actually, like, do these things. Like, you know, there's people that want to help, they try and help and do things, and then someone else, you know, goes and just breaks everything. Yeah, we used to receive comments about that too, you know, back when we did Amazon Fresh and we would find tons and tons of berries. And of course, you know, you can't leave those things in the blessing boxes. But we did get suggestions like that, like, oh, you can make the jelly and then give it away. But yeah, when I saw this, I was like, oh, no. This has happened before too with, like, pasta sauce. Like, someone just broke a bunch of jars of pasta sauce in the blessing boxes. And it's just sad because that's when they stopped doing this. Like, this is a huge help for people that need food, that need, you know, supplies and stuff. So yeah, just my little talk about that. 'Cause, yeah, those jars, it was so nice, like how they made everything like really nice, and someone just messed it all up. But they do have people that maintain the blessing boxes too. So I didn't have any wipes on me. Usually we carry some, but we are always running out. So, that's one thing. Like, if you guys want to help out with some supplies and stuff, I mean, disinfecting wipes we use a lot. Some of this clear wrap that right there that you see Mr. Volt is going to be using to wrap up these boxes, we use that a lot too. Those things, it just helps out, so we can be out there, doing more. So, yeah, I went back home and then got some rags and some cleaning stuff. And then, but when I went back, I mean, it was already being cleaned up. So, I mean, that's the good thing about it. There's people that do care, and they are trying to, keep it maintained and keep it like, nice, because, this place too, there's a lot of kids that are around there, and you don't want like broken blocks all over, and it's just, a lot of people do those things. I was able to take a couple jars, so I did take a couple jars in the jelly, and it was really good. So whoever made that, thank you. So now that Mr. Volt has already made one trip, he was reinforcing it with this plastic wrap, and yeah, that's just to kind of keep the shape of it better, because you do not want, the straps coming loose. And we have seen that recently on the freeway with a big old huge semi truck. They had stuff that was packed up like that, and you can tell that it had started, packaging had started to get smaller, so the straps were loose, and we could see it like it looked like it was about to fall. So yeah, just be careful with any packaging you do. Double check it, especially if you're going to be driving and driving a little far. So is this like the last pallet right here? That's, oh my goodness, 4 pallets. And he climbed up on that corner. It just reminded me of like the Titanic scene when Jack and he's like on the tip of the ship. Mr. Volt's gonna like hold his arms out. Okay, now I want to watch that movie. So that happens. Last time it was what, Pretty Woman? So last time Mr. Volt had a jewelry box, and I had said that it reminded me of the Pretty Woman scene, and I sort of like, I wanted to see that movie. So here's our donations for the day. A full pallet right here. And we tried this. Okay, this one we did try many places, and nobody would take it. It was too much for them to process. So yeah, we did find a place to do the donations, but they were gonna they had to ship it to their main center, so that's why we had to stack it up like in a pallet shape, so it was like easy for them to take it. But it was donated. Make sure to like this video, leave a comment, subscribe, and of course, have a great day. Bye.